That's just facts. The competition in OCE, like the population of gamers in general, is just way smaller than it is in like North America, Europe, Korea, like some of these monster fucking places where they just have way more gamers, right? And so them doing it, like I can respect the fuck out of them literally moving to North America and being like, you know what, we wanna go for this shit for real, bro. We don't want to just be best in OCE, dude. We want to play for real, for real. Number one at AA impressive compared to EU. That's false. Come on now. Come on now. Come on. Come on now. Quit the cap. Cut it. Oh, we can't see their score actually, chat. Version mismatch or whatever.
Saw that phase game way back in the grand finals. Tens was popping off, so we'll see if he can do it here again. Early on, Sentinels, it's that Viper wall that goes up. You can kind of use this as a fake, but Dapper's going to instantly cancel it out and throw up his own stage wall, get a little bit of elevation. Whereas in the meantime, Soniqs have a little bit of contest back towards the A side.
He got the pre-fire on that like that.
Nice and cheeky from Dapper, because not only can he get that elevation, but ult orb right in front of him. It's going to be big at least for the long haul, but otherwise, the rest of Soniqs, because they're closed up by that wall, it's a little bit too tough of a choke point to even go through. They have no information from what's behind that wall. For now, it's only Dapper, but they could be running into a crossfire. So for now, they're just taking things nice and slow.
Yeah, so here's the tricky thing right now, at least for the side of Soniqs, is that wall going up and you already committed that Viper wall. It's going to be super tricky, at least to try and convert back to that A site, because you really only have the poison orb if Bob has even decided to buy it. So it's a little bit tricky here for Soniqs, as Sentinels are kind of reading it, and you can see Tens already starting to push forward down towards A for a flank.
Very, very quick flank and getting all of that information. Now Sentinels fully on the rotation.
There's no TSM stream.
Dapper on this front line, down to 7 HP.
But he gets one. What the fuck?
It still somehow can damage, taking down Crunchy, but quickly Sentinels. They have two players over in yellow box. It's Shazam and Sick combined for the last three. Sentinels pick up the pistol.
There you go.
I think that pistol round kind of greatly shows the two different styles between Sentinels and Soniqs. I think both teams in that one were trying to read each other, right? Soniqs were anticipating a very aggressive style, at least coming from Sentinels, and that's why we saw Dizzy Life sitting in the back of the defenders or attacking spawn, ready for a push to come through. They get caught off by, I think, Shazam pushing down towards mid. So Soniqs were anticipating Sentinels to get aggressive, but Sentinels were anticipating Soniqs to be super, super slow and defaulty. So they get aggressive, they get that ground, and that very early wall from Dapper really threw a wrench in the plans of Soniqs.
Now we see a little bit of that again as Tens, he takes up Pipes control. Gets that first contact, but not able to really find anything. He goes back into it again, but there you go. Crunchy, a celebrated player from Australia. Used to play Quake, a long stint in CSGO. Now coming over to NA, fully committing to Valorant. Dance, he's a fragging legend. I mean, that's almost anticipated, right? When a player comes over from Quake, it's the pure mechanics that can completely discombobulate your opponent.
Yeah, I heard Crunchy as well. He has, I think, what is it, a cup of coffee every day is what the team told us, and a couple of the fans told me. So the dude is always going to be very fast, very cracked, so we'll see what he can do. Off of that first pick, it's a late lurk from Ian, the IGL here of Soniqs. That's going to get it progress up towards mid, straight through tube, and there's even a flank. But he only has a classic, Gus.
Oh, man. It was sidearm v sidearm, too. Ian, super possible up that battle, but just couldn't win it. Not a lot of information either. Only able to catch up only one person, one pixel in a sense. And now it's just Dapper with the Ares sitting up on yellow, just grinding out damage, farming, and like you said, alone, but still able to heal. Sick is here. Same thing with Shazam off the flank. Wonderfully done by Sentinels again as they wrap.
Clean here from Sentinel. Soniqs, they're able to find first picks. I think they're really trying to shut down Tens. I think that's the biggest issue, at least for the side of Soniqs, is that coming from Oceania, I remember we discussed with Ryan, is that the skill level isn't as comparable to maybe North America. So this is going to be kind of a huge change in terms of playing in Oceania and then coming to North America, is that the skill gap, at least when you're playing against the #1 team in North America and probably one of the best players in the world in the form of Tens, there's going to be a huge learning curve, and Soniqs are starting to slowly adjust to it, as now they've got the rifles out, but Shazam is ready to battle.
Oh, this man's still in it.
So quick now, you see the Viper wall right on up towards B main. They quickly take it down. It was just for that first contact. See if they can catch up a little bit of space for Dizzy to get on top of box.
Oh,
Now you still have Ian on the wrap, almost able to catch one in mid too, but look at the space that Shazam
There's
has
10
made.
more days of his
That's
contract.
an instant frag from onto Ian. Not only that, but it cleared out the rest of A main, and now they already begin to rotate.
Bro, Sentinels might just have to
Wall up
cop,
as well is gonna make
buy
this really
him,
difficult
get
plan.
another loan,
Soniqs
bro.
need to break it down, otherwise they're gonna
Cash
be
it.
super exposed, wrapping the
C9
far
gonna
left.
be
You
running
wanna
the
get that
bill, bro.
play right in front of that double stack box.
Golly.
Having to go around that wall causes so much of a delay, but they've thrown a wall up themselves. Snake
I
fight
need to
straight
learn
up
how to
towards
play
Shazam
Viper,
over the
bro.
bridge.
I
He's
need to
not
learn how to
really
play
having much of a
Viper.
fight here, and there's really no counter as Soniqs will get the spike down for the first time in this game.
It's either that I need to learn how to play Viper, or I need to organize some
That's probably
aggressive
the most important
pushes.
Part, even with the wall bangs,
as an Omen.
still just fine.
I feel
so
like
still
on
backs
defense,
up,
man.
and now it's full control for Sentinels. At least this site, they just want to get this spike down. But Bob getting two. You still have Flicks playing around yellow box, down to 5 HP. Zombs with a pick.
He's got the
Crunchy
spam.
has to get it through the box, trying to spam. Can't find it. Shazam down to 50. Oh, and he gets the defuse.
Wait, how much HP is Shazam at?
Barely, as Crunchy made the wrap all the way from B main to mid, and Sentinels, although they make it a little bit more dramatic, it was dominant from the rip as they took back B main.
He tried to go for such a long flank to try and catch the players off guard, but Sentinels, that high tempo, Soniqs have, I think we heard it from Ian himself as well. Again, I'm going to keep referring to this little conversation we had, is that Soniqs have always been a very dominant team in Oceania, and that's because of how good they are with post plants and retakes. But the main thing is in Oceania is that teams are a lot more cautious. They're a lot more patient on the retake. But again, that style change, North American counters, or apologies, Valorant, Sentinels being so aggressive early on, Gus, finding so many early openings, Soniqs completely caught off guard.
As we go back with Soniqs, this time they might be committing the bodies over towards A, and now Sentinels, they already had Shazam early.
Oh my gosh.
1-2 combo.
Wait, those are two really good
Dizzy
picks.
and Bob taking down Shazam and Zombs. So now man advantage for Soniqs, that's already taken away as Tens lines them up.
Oh, you gotta get Tens out of there,
Still
bro.
a whole lot more damage to another. Sentinels at least have two players over towards the back of site, Ian and Dizzy, trying to make their way away from this dangerous elbow position. Sick taking on some damage. Long range with a Phantom. Can't get the damage. Instead, it's Ian getting the kill onto Tens. And Sick shock dart takes down Ian. Dapper picks up Shazam, but it doesn't matter. Dapper finishes up the job himself. 3 players survive for Sentinels at the end of a 4-0 lead.
Ben said on stream he's going to be playing a few matches in LA soon.
It's like Sonic can barely get a foot forward into the A side.
I wonder where he's going to be staying, or if he got a place in LA.
And Tens and Shazam both being a duo on this A side is such a huge threat in Soniqs. I think they're starting to realize, but there is a slight adjustment. Shazam will pick back up the operator. Tens is going to stick it towards mid.
With you, no.
We'll see what Soniqs have, as these executions haven't been in their favor, but a wall lined up early here.
Girlfriend is signing to an Oregon LA, I think.
So they can focus entirely here towards right where Shazam is with the operator. But Shazam has been so punishing
NRG?
with it. He does miss the shot.
Probably signing NRG.
He will be punished by Plix.
Most likely NRG.
There you go,
Then
Flix
that's the
just
case.
holding W, going through, fighting Zombs and Elbow. But instantly the Viper's Pit, the domain expansion goes up, and now Bob at least has full real estate now, but look at the jump on top. Not gonna be able to find anything. Instead, it has to be Bob to take down Tens, and indeed he does. Man advantage now for Soniqs. 3 players in the back line for Sentinels, and Crunchy even picks up Flix right in the middle. This Viper's Pit is just taking up so much space. It's so dangerous for Sentinels to even go through. Flix is gonna take down Sick with the boom bots, and 1 more remaining. It's Dapper in a 1v4, still has a wall to work with. Wants to put that in front of the wall. Quick burst takes down Crunchy. Big frag. Still has to deal with a player over towards Elbow, and he gets taken down. That's the first round back for the Aussies.
I love the way Soniqs, in particular Bob, played that retake, played that post play.
What org do you guys think Kaide is going to be signing to?
Well done. There's a slight verticality.
I'm calling it right now, NRG.
On top of Jenny, he gets.
I mean, to be honest, it could be TSM, but I just don't.
Sentinels have got to worry about.
I literally don't know when TSM signs new players. I literally have no idea. So I genuinely think it's going to be NRG though.
Those are the shining moments that we need, and the Aussies are on the board finally.
I know NRG is out here in LA. I know they've been signing hella Valorant people. Which makes sense.
Have their ulti, Sully.
Oh my, Bob.
Oh, they find Tens.
To get the kill, Bob instead.
Oh, the op shot.
I think that was a blast pad jumped straight into the face of Tens. So punishing early.
So quick.
And we didn't mention this earlier, is that Dizzy.
Said on stream that TSM couldn't sign her.
He is a pure jet operator, so we'll see what he can do against Shazam.
Look at that orb too. covers up the swing. Zoms ran right into it.
Genji
This
is the
for
org
new
that signs
patch,
women
it
streamers the
would've
most.
Would have done 50 damage.
Yeah, but the thing about,
Look at this. Iron
I don't know,
is
Genji's
such a
had some
late
really
look towards
big
B.
pickups
Side's
lately.
completely open.
Sean
And the
Garris,
biggest thing is
Clue
Soniqs
are
have
like their
split
most recent
bombs
pickups, so I
utilities
think,
both
I don't know.
A and B,
I don't think
they-
they'll end up picking
so
up
these
another.
Sentinels have no idea
And I
where
don't
this
think
hit is gonna be
Genji's based out
coming
of LA, are they?
He already came from Kitchen earlier, so sick. You can kind of tell that he is putting up
I'm voting
at
NRG.
least
That's
a little
that's
bit
my
of
guess.
attention,
We'll see.
but that's Herd going up, gives an audio cue back to Dapper.
I think they're faking it though, Soniqs. They're not fully committed. Yeah, as Iron goes down, this might have to be a cancel, but they are. It looks like they're still gonna go forward. Wall needs to go up, and Dapper's
Yeah, now
got a
they
really good angle here. As he's got.
Ooh, I like this play by Soniqs.
Defender spawn
Yeah.
side.
Catch
Still have
the
Viper
B
wall that
lurk,
they
but
set
then
up
play
early on in
B
the round. This was their
anyways.
setup. This was their plan early on
That
anyways.
shit nice.
They
Got a
put
chance
up the
to
stage
pick.
wall at least. Dapper through the fence. Couldn't get anything. Plix takes him down. Hunter's Fury early. Dizzy misses out on a clean
Wake
shot
up.
mid. Would have given a 2-man advantage back to Soniqs, but now Sentinels not exactly full strength. But they
Oh
still
my
have the bodies
God.
to fight, and through the Viper wall, taking down Plix. This is starting to become disastrous for Soniqs, but they still have the chance to at least take it on down. 3 players both on sites for
There you
Sentinels.
go, there you go, there you
Dizzy,
go.
Life, and
Put
Bob
together.
combining for 2. Now
Nice.
to Zoms in a 1v3, and Crunchy still wins it. Soniqs a nail biter, but they win it anyways.
Onyx.
Got really, really scary.
Okay.
If Dapper had gotten that first kill.
Hey,
onto-
this is
onto
looking,
Plix in the back,
this
that
is
would've
looking
been a
good.
Huge stud, at least to
This is
Soniqs'
looking
push
impressive.
forward. It would have slowed them down.
I
by
mean,
a whole
we've
lot, losing
seen
that extra
Sentinels
bullet. But Sentinels, I think
on
Soniqs are
Icebox.
kind of changing up the pace.
You know what I
Sentinels are
mean?
getting caught a little off guard. Right? That
We've
early dash
all
and that
seen
early
Sentinels
flashback
on
straight into
Icebox.
the face of Tens from Plix.
We
Top
all
Tens
know how
completely off
scary
guard, and
Sentinels
they
could
had
be
to
on
adjust.
Icebox.
Soniqs are starting to pick up the tempo against North America.
And Soniqs is turning this shit
Now we're seeing
around.
A true clash of the Titans.
I'm saying, looking good.
Dizzy with an early shot, not able to get
I think that
anything. This
Viper
time
pick,
it's actually
man,
double
with
up
the new
towards B
patch,
easily.
such a good pick on Icebox,
On that
bro.
late lurk, no one to
I-
punish. Tens doesn't have
I
line
gotta
of sight
say,
unless he
like-
walks to the right side. He might just
I
get Tens trying to
legitimately
kill. No, Iron
want to
with a
learn how to
gun.
play
Give
Viper.
them an advantage,
It's
but
the
look
old
at this
patch?
push from
Oh,
VCT.
never mind.
This
No,
is
even, okay,
huge from
even old
Shazam.
patch.
Win
Even old
every
patch.
single night.
Even old patch, sorry.
He only has a
Viper's still a
classic to work
solid
with
fucking
now.
pick on Icebox.
Goes down to Crunchy and Dizzy.
Even pre-patch. Even
Watching
pre-patch.
Inner takes down Dapper.
Such a good
Sentinels.
pick, dude.
A little bit lower on firepower. They end up losing out all 3 of their initial battles.
You're gonna be able to
Viper's
cover
so
sick.
good on
He's gonna be
fucking
spotted
Icebox.
Here. Slow Orb is well committed to top bridge. He can maybe stop this spike. No. Wall going up is going to make this a whole lot more difficult. And the boom was even discovered him. It's so punishing with that information. And yeah, in a 5v2,
Old patch,
Sentinels
though.
can maybe get an exit here.
No,
or
I know.
there. The
I know it's
Fulton
old
Suns,
patch.
he's the last one alive, which
Listen.
it doesn't look like he won't. Style on him.
Good shit,
Plix.
baby. Teabag, teabag.
Show 'em where you
Yeah,
come
come
from.
on, Flex.
Sentinels,
Flex.
4-3.
Even on
That's the
old
first
patch.
international team
Even on old patch, Viper on Icebox was still scary.
It's actually the Aussies.
People
team.
started using her
Okay,
more
Sentinels that
when the
have
patch was coming, like right before the
They
patch
saw
came
that.
out.
They might go into a different
And that shit
mode.
opened my eyes,
Demon
dude.
mode potentially is now they
Viper's
do have the
post-plant
firepower
potential
backstory.
is literally toxic.
Look at where Shazam's taking this operator.
Fucking
Instead of going towards
insane.
A, where he's been able to punish a couple of Soniqs players, but that was in the early rounds. Now Soniqs are kind of committing blast packs to get that
Whoa.
control, throwing that wall up, and yeah, Plix straight to it. Right off the rip is looking for an early pick. Shazam is going to get full control of B, however, but the lockdown is the main focus. With 3 players here, they're going to have to wait this one out, and Soniqs, with no control towards B, it feels like they have to commit. With the spike, it's nowhere near that side of the site or side of the map.
Still want to take up this control. This could be a great fake. All the bodies for Sentinels are around here, except for one. Shazam actually takes down Bob over towards B as Tens gets the kill onto Ian. There goes a frag from Dizzy. The spike is coming back to the A site, but this is the jaw of the beast. Sentinels still has the 3 bodies here, but one of them goes down. Nice pick from Plix. So goes on away, has
Oh,
Tens
this
on the other
wall.
side of the wall, and he can't go up. He just used one of his satchels.
Get
They're waiting
this.
for the.
they're just
Oh wait, they don't have
Yeah,
the
Bob
Viper
is
anymore.
gone as well. They are really stuck because that wall is going to be huge because it blocks off Ten's line of sight where they can maybe get the spike down right in front of the double stack again. They really need this wall to break. 35 seconds left. When does Shazam maybe start to rotate? They are anticipating maybe this is going to be a cancel. Maybe it's going to be a fake and wrap
30
towards mid
seconds
given the time. But Soniqs, they're waiting patiently. The wall breaks and so does Tens. He goes down, but it's sick back with 1.
6 still around.
Wait, you get wait.
Oh,
Huh?
the spike is, and yes, he can cut him off instantly.
Oh, I was about to say the wall
Crunchy
wasn't
doesn't
good, right?
Anticipate it, and there goes the route. Now it's a 1v2.
Maybe the wall
Dizzy
was good
has
enough.
missed a
I don't
couple
know.
of pivotal shots, but has a chance for redemption.
A fake dash?
Has a close angle, and not only that, but he does have the knives.
Oh
And
no.
oh no, the recon is gonna tap him twice. Now he's out and away. Only has one more updraft. Dizzy now with the knives. Waiting up at least for that tick of the spike. Finally, it is going down. Know that there's one close.
He's got a peek.
Oh my god.
Oh, he gets it on to Shazam! Still one more remaining. The knives are still out. Dizzy still catching a bullet. The fields never goes by. Dizzy
Yo.
plays time. The movement
Yo.
is questionable, but it doesn't matter. Soniqs, they still went out the fourth.
Soniqs is making
Dizzy.
Sen look like
Circles, my man, Soniqs. A huge clutch to tie things up 4-4. I mean, this was so well done by Sick. I won't even lie. Sentinels played this so well, but when you're in a clutch position,
making them look like
technicality doesn't matter.
clowns,
Dizzy,
dude.
Extremely well
The
done.
OCE,
it really doesn't get better than
dude.
that in a clutch. 4-4 Sentinels. They're really being tested here by the Aussie Soniqs. They have the better guns in this round, so Sentinels will be looking to pack on a little bit of damage. Early Viper Wall goes up by Bob towards the B site. Sick. Lone Warrior
Golly.
have to try and hold them off, as already Sentinels get a whole lot of
This team's
information.
playing
They
really
don't spot
well.
Iron on this lurk, so they can't expect him mid probably, and that's why we see those two players in Shuss. Tens and Shazam back away, and I think now they're prepared for the B exec.
Oh, certainly, but in comes Ian again. Another cheeky lurk.
Damn it, take back what you
It's up
said
in
earlier.
kitchen,
No, what
spots
I said
Dapper.
earlier
Dapper
still
goes down
stands
to
true.
30, still has
This
the
team is
keyword.
really good, but OCE as a region in general is weak,
contact
and you're
from
never
Ian,
gonna
though.
change that.
So has to go away. Only one
It's
was
just,
that
it's
frag.
just, it is what it is.
Now they just go on away almost immediately, and
On here by
Can my
Soniqs, I think they
crosshair
were
fuck off?
anticipating, or at least expecting, maybe they would need it canceled because of how Sentinels have been aggressive and how
But these
focused they were
motherfuckers,
towards that
they
B site.
nice.
So they have that orb just in case. So that cross towards mid is going to be a lot more secure. After the, I think it was Ian that spotted. Dapper
I'm glad
plays in
that
the back,
they're
or
that
maybe
they're
it was even
actually,
Sick
you know,
as well in
clapping
that
cheeks here.
rotation. So Soniqs, they'll get the spike down. Sentinels.
Like I said, I got a lot of
are still
respect for
deadly
this
even with
team.
the lesser
To be
guns.
like, you
We'll
know
see
what,
they
fuck
can
it,
make
man.
of this.
We
see it,
want to be
Ian,
the best.
The first contact and
We know that we're only going to be the
is
best
gonna
if we
at least
go
bang
up
him out.
against some of the better competition.
Sentinel still going slowly,
Oh.
especially from the mid side. That shock dart does a
Oh
whole
my
lot of damage.
God.
It might take down Plix. Plix
gotta
down to
dip
7
out of there,
HP.
brother.
Just needs to stay alive. That eye does go a little bit high. Dapper still has a wall too. This could
Bars?
just be a very cheeky defuse if they want to go for it. Dizzy takes down one. Ian still. The defuse is going in. But
Oh
the
my
shot
God.
through from Bob takes down Dapper. And now it's a sick in a 1v4.
That was the eco from
Good attempt, at
Sentinels.
least from Dapper.
Sentinels will have
The rest
guns
of
this round,
Sentinels
so let's
just
see how they
throwing
play it
the
up.
bodies in. But again, somehow, I'm thinking about the situations throughout that round where Soniqs, they were fighting a little bit more upper towards the back A position, but they still had their contingency plan, Sully, in the back line.
Yeah, they had Crunchy on a very quick rotation, running down through mid just
Check
in case.
TSM, I can't.
Soniqs, these
There's
rounds
no
are big
number-
on the
there's-
attacking
they're
side
on a
as well.
different
of
patch,
Icebox. You want to maximize
so I can't see the
how
score,
many rounds
dude.
you can get out of this one.
Sorry, man.
They are really giving Sentinels
I
a
wish I
run
could
for
see
their
the
money.
TSM
Again,
score
we're gonna
too,
see
bro.
Dapper playing solo on this B site, trying to get the wall up early to prevent any early B exec. But knowing Soniqs, they love to play with the picks. They love to try and get an opening kill at tens. He expected Plix to play that angle, and he's gonna go for more. Shazam right behind him onto Plix, and then him with a second onto Crunchy, but Dizzy's there for one.
Yeah, nice pick from Dizzy. Need to at least cover up the
Look at
bleeding.
the Killjoy, though. Look at the Killjoy.
Tens was looking like he was on a tear, looking for
Oh, no,
revenge
no,
too. He
no.
lost out on most of his battles.
This could be the
There's no way
reason
they're prepared for
why
this.
Soniqs could
He
win
is
this
on
round,
such a
dude.
huge play.
This
He's been here
is...
so many times though, Sully. Sick is gonna check this 100 times out of 100. I mean, that's more than anticipated, right? It's the conditioning.
Yeah.
He's always gonna be checking kitchen after what has been plenty of rounds of Ian making that same rotation.
Yeah, I was thinking that maybe he could have gotten the timing in his favor, but no. 2v4. Viper's Pit is online. The thing is Dapper and Sick are waiting, and these rotations from both Shazam and Zoms are way too quick. Yup, Viper's ultimate's gonna go up, but the recon bolt keeps them off the spike plant, giving more time for these rotations and to set themselves up for the retake.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, with the Viper's Pit.
Oh,
Bob,
Shazam.
he's
Oh,
actually outside of it, and
no.
now the Pit is gonna go down on the Hunter's Fury.
Oh,
Hangs out
no.
Dizzy, and Shazam gets the pick. 5 to 5, we're tied up again, Sully. As Sentinels, at least in that
Fuck.
round, they just picked Soniqs up off early, and then by the time they actually went into sight, they were more than restricted.
Yeah, it's these little micro adjustments that Sentinels are doing. It's all started with Tens not going for such an aggressive peak, and that insane shot from Shazam, don't get me wrong, but it's these small things that Sentinels are doing.
Those two picks right there were
Soniqs
big.
Got to keep on their toes. They've done it before earlier in this first half to adjust quickly to Sentinels. Can they do it again as we're heading to the last 2 rounds?
Come into the unknown.
You know, I could also imagine this being a really matchup for Sentinels.
Round and a half.
Because it's like
This time it's a little bit more
you know, we
modified
heard
of a
about
setup, at least for the Sentinels,
how
where they actually
Shazam
have 3 over towards the A
prepares
area.
for a
It's actually
game.
too close.
You know what I mean? Where he studies the player.
Speaking of close, we have
studies the
Dapper
team,
again, who might just get
finds
countered
little
by
things
the
that they do.
showstopper. Blake's trying to chase, but he ran out of the satchels, and now Dapper is out
Creates
in the way.
counter
The
strategies.
showstopper is gonna get wasted.
But I doubt. I mean,
He's gotten so
I
much
doubt
space.
they
However,
have the ability to
Sentinels,
do that for this
they
team
could respond
Soniqs.
back with an hour jump. So now they've got the info that's
Exactly.
going to force Plix to back away just a
Exactly,
little bit.
Fabian, yeah.
And 3 players stacked up here by the side of Sentinels. It's Ian again on a very, very late lurk. If you are Sentinels, you need to be expecting this. You have to expect this late lurk from Ian. There's an
You have
opportunity
to take
maybe
that into
shut down 2
consideration for
players.
sure.
Zom's making a wrap back towards
Jesus,
Raptors.
free damage.
The nice
Ian
Viper or
just
Snake
gets into
bite
A?
straight onto
Oh,
the foot
no.
of Dapper is going to force him back a little bit as Ian opens things up on A.
It's a fast rotation too. It's 2 players that have been mostly on a pivot. Shazam coming back too late. Tens in the back line. Crunchy immediately gets the pick onto Tens. Dizzy, nice pick onto Sick. Still 2 up
Yeah.
top on Raptors. Might be
We
3
know
in just a
how
little
much
bit, but they
Shazam
have
loves to
full
prepare
control of sight. That same
for his
wall
matches.
goes up again. They want to counter it. The wall is going down.
Oh,
Saul's
here we
left
go.
pick. Dapper up close, takes down Crunchy.
Wait a minute, this
with
could
the
be good
wall open and a
for
smoke still
Sentinels.
down. Dapper's actually going for the defuse. Shazam watching up top. Still 3 for Soniqs in the back line. Shazam misses out on the wall thing. No longer being defused as Dizzy gets the pick onto Zoms. 1 more player remaining.
Oh,
and it's going to have
fuck.
to come down to Shazam. He knows that there's a gap through. But with only an op, he just has to go nuts.
No!
Had that first contact, and Shazam looks away for a split second.
I was about to say, bro, you get to say
Shazam's
that?
still alive, but now he's done. Soniqs once again.
Dizzy is
maintain a
actually
lead over
insane.
Sentinels.
Dude,
He's putting up points.
so deadly.
But
in
I also
these
feel
close
like,
range
okay,
engagements
listen, man.
with an operator.
Respect
He's hit
to
so
Dizzy,
many
right?
quick scopes in such
But that
crucial
round,
positions. My goodness.
Sentinels
I mean,
was
it's the
sleeping,
battle
bro.
of Shazam and Dizzy.
They were
The
AFK
ops
on the
going
keyboard.
off
These
hammer
motherfuckers-
every single round.
This
It feels
dude
like
is
every
literally
round has got an operator
unscoped
kill, and it is such an
and just
influential
quickscoping
one.
people.
Quickscope on the same side.
Like,
Dizzy
that should
hits
never
2
happen.
Just to give
And
Soniqs
to be
the
honest,
6th round, and we said it going in now into the last
I
2
would say
rounds. We're here
8
in the
times out of
last.
10,
Sentinels,
the player with the
Shazam's
AR
no longer got
going
an
up
op.
against an
Dizzy has
unscoped
his,
AR
but the Blade
should
Storm
win every
might
time.
salvage something out of this one.
I'm gonna say
Shazam.
8 out of 10 times. But Dizzy is hitting his shot, bro, and Sentinels isn't. And at the end of the day, that's all it comes down to, right? But Sentinels need to wake the
Moment
fuck
for
up.
Really, everyone to
Shouldn't
take
get
a
those
deep breath,
shots.
right?
This is an insane game so far. I think we kind of hyped it up that
Notice me, Myth, what up,
Sentinels were
Prodigy? 8
the
out of 10
very
times
clear
every time?
favorites with
Oh, my
Soniqs,
bad.
man.
8 out of 10
They
times,
are-
sorry. I don't need
They're
to say every
proving
time.
why
I
they
do
were
that.
number 1 from where they once were,
Sorry.
and I mean Soniqs, dude, they are being so deadly right now. They are definitely on the same skill
Right.
level as Sentinels right now.
I mean, what a story for Soniqs to even get here, right? Because they already crowned themselves as
Do you
king
think
of the
Sen
Oceanic
underestimated them?
region,
No. No, I don't think so.
region.
I think it's just,
And,
it's
well, they left midway. They end up getting sponsored
okay,
by Soniqs. And
when you're
now
playing
they
at the
play
pro
up in
level,
a team house, or
you guys,
at least
like,
what we assume is
you
is
need
actually a
to-
team office. And I mean, Soniqs, for them to quickly make that transition over,
it's
you already
extremely
know that it's
difficult
tough.
playing up against
Let's
a
see
good
how
team
they fight up against Sentinels again. However, for one last
that
round, early on it was Shazam
you don't
with an
have
up draft
any
over
information
mid,
on,
misses
or
out on his
any
shot, but we already
previous
have an
like
early
read
pick.
or anything, man. You know,
Zom's punishing
So-
Plix, who's gone for that blast back straight onto belt.
it's just difficult. I think it's just more difficult.
Slowed down after
I think
that.
Soniqs has
are
shown
a
that
team
they're
really
actually
relies on
a solid,
getting the open
like a
pick
pretty
with
decent
their
team so
duels, right?
far.
Dizzy Life with
That they
operator
have things in the
scouring
bank,
map,
but it's
seeing what
hard
Crunchy can
going
get
up
there
against
upon
teams
these
that
Plix.
just
Well,
you
he
just
can
don't know
fire
what the fuck
spells,
they're gonna
so
throw at you.
Revive comes in. Ava's gonna get
So a
one
lot of it
frag
comes
back
down to like this just mechanic
versus 5
deathmatch.
as Soniqs.
Um,
Dizzy again.
And that's sort of hard to play against on defense, I think. But now that you're on attack, I think you can be a little bit more confident. Or, wait, sorry,
The Viper wall is ready to go.
other
but
way
Sick,
around.
He's alone here. He's got no company with Shazam.
But no,
Has
sorry.
to take this
Like when you're on
rotation. Same thing with
attack,
the
I
rest
think
of
it's a little bit
Sentinels.
easier
They're down a man
to
early on.
go
They
up
need
against a
try and
team
get
that doesn't
picked
have a
back
read
here.
on you.
Shazam alone.
So I'm curious to see how
Top of two.
Sentinels actually plays on attack
All this
compared to their
utility
defense
being
side, where like
Sentinels,
they
it's
just
gonna
don't
be
know what the
so
fuck these guys are gonna
difficult.
pull out on
Spike
them.
will
You
be
know?
committed, but no Shazam. He's up top, but the spike goes down to the last second. It's a 4v3 with kills going back and forth. Soniqs fine too, and Sentinels are down to just 2. It's against Shazam, juggling between the guns, Bladestorm ready, and a 3v2. Sonics have already backed away. 2 players by Banana. A big paranoia goes in. Shazam needs an opening, and he's got one, but punished by Bob. It's down to Zombs in the clutch. 1 versus 2 to tie things up. He's stuck in the dark cover, but out goes the swing, and down he goes. Ian picking up a 7th here for Sonics to give them the lead going into the second half.
I could definitely see that, like,
I mean, unreal.
from Sentinels defense, they just don't know how they're going to be playing these post plays.
Right? Sonics.
They just don't know.
Up 7-5 over Sentinels going into the second half. What would be the favorite side for themselves statistically, the defender side.
Okay, that's why I see these blinds being thrown out, and I like see them, and I'm like, yeah, it's just kind of like, okay, we're gonna throw this here, and
I feel like it's all about
we're gonna hope it blinds them.
To themselves and the
now let's see how Sentinels plays attack against them, where they, I think they might have a.
It always feels like
they might have an opportunity to redeem themselves.
It's always been a weird region for at least in every single esport, and so for Sonics to come in and just straight out the water, compete at the level of Sentinels on one of the Sentinels.
The same exact thing I was talking about actually for Masters with Sentinels and Tens joining Sentinels.
Now in North America, but they've got to do it again in a second.
It's extremely.
Well, let's see it now. Already starting off. A couple of missed
I don't know about
shots,
extremely. I don't know exactly, right? I'm not a fucking pro player.
Like
but I could imagine it being extremely difficult to have Tens just join Sentinels roster. And your entire game plan just kind of goes out the fucking window. Because you don't know how Tens is going to play with this Sentinels roster.
Now Plix on top of Raptors. This is really the only position that they have to look out for.
Like, that's a hard thing to go up against.
Exact same position. Tens takes down Plix. Shazam and Zombs with another one. Tens with a second. Now it's just Dizzy in a 1v5. Catches. Oh,
dude, Dapper knifes him.
Takes out one, and Dapper has a knife. We not only see the first international knife, but the second international teabag. Sentinels. Oh, they want their revenge for sure. They want to really state who are the kings.
Oh man, Dapper. That's classic Dapper. They were feeling it. We were anticipating. We're like, okay, when are Sentinels going to bring the heat back? When is the fire, the flame that we know Sentinels to be? When is that going to come back? And there it is, Dapper with a knife jumping around the corner. Second half already off to a roaring start as Sentinels up.
Could be very scary for Sentinels, though. They need to be careful against that shotgun.
Sentinels, a slow progression straight towards the B site. That Viper wall doesn't cancel anything. Sonics are ready for it.
I feel like it's such a weird Viper wall.
It's gonna be at least triple for Sonics early on. Get that weird angle for the Viper wall too. It was just for that initial pick.
I guess it's supposed to hesitate them from pushing into B.
Quick for Sentinels. They already have that wall up.
I can see that being really good for a
does cover up
post patch actually.
Tens watching the back line, not gonna be able to get anything just yet, but still maintaining it. Takes down Ian. Good trade back from Crunchy, but it's a man down for Sonics. They do start to converge just a little bit more. We're used to seeing a little bit more flank play, but in this case, they're still just maintaining the players around. And there you go. Like you mentioned, Zombs. So looking over towards that mid side could come by in a very quick crunch. And Plix,
this isn't a good range.
The wall is still there. Plix has to get away.
Zombs, get closer.
Zombs clears the angle. Dizzy with another shot.
Oh no.
This spike is going down quickly, and Zombs, he can clean this all up. Takes down Crunchy. Still one more on site. The spike is already dead and gone. And Sick, he gets one to the back of the head. Sentinels have tied it up 7-7.
Nice clean stuff from Sentinels just to kick off the second half. You tie things up 7-7, but now the gun round. That was such a punishing round by Sonics to take 4 players away from Sentinels, 4 reinvestments. So going into this one, round number 3, where we expect the winning team of the first 2 rounds to have a bonus, it's more or less going to be Rifles v. Rifles. The only person not upgrading being Zombs, the lone survivor. And Sonics, it's an early battle here. As already, players are looking to swing very early into B. Never mind, Bob is going to back away after the Viper wall goes up.
Hi, Laura.
At least early on into this round, Sentinels might be playing a little bit more defaulty in a sense. It's more individual committing to positions. They have a lurker over towards the A site. Same thing with over towards mid. Tend is more looking for a pick.
They didn't lose chat capping. Okay, never mind.
They slowly but surely take up a little bit more control of the map.
Yeah, Ian has got a great contingency plan here. A beautiful one-way off the Poison Orb as well from Bob, but more importantly, these nano swarms, one behind that double stack, one straight in front of where the spike will most likely go down, just to prevent it from going down. Sentinels are being slowed down, but that shock dart just broke literally everything except for the one swarm. So most of the util, the alarm bot is still waiting at the top of tube, and Ian is still able to get a first kill. Swarm goes out to prevent any late push. Now he's got to be a little bit more worried about the yellow tube. Nothing yet for Sentinels, as they are still spread out across the map, looking for at least a trade back to get them going.
Bob has the pick in mid as he takes down tens.
That doesn't happen often.
Did it have a lineup for
it's
B?
just a pure 1v1. It was Bob
shot.
with the headshot position too. And just putting that in perspective too, Bob 1v1 against tens, but now the spike going down on the B side, practically on the lonesome. But watch out, they do have a little bit of a lurker, almost going right into kitchen.
Yeah.
It's none other than Sick in that position.
Oh, think about where the spike has gone down as well. Sonic should be expecting the majority of these players to be playing in this ultimate area, so it's up to Dizzy to maybe get a trade, but it's Ian to punish Sick first. A paranoia ready for Zombs, but in a 2v5.
It's like they're almost anticipating it. They're still checking these angles. That's unreal. Zombs now in a 1v4. And Soniqs, they wanted to make absolute sure that this B site was empty, that no Sentinels
7-8,
were surviving. I mean, like you mentioned, it was almost a perfect setup to the point that, you know, if you just have one player in that back yellow making a little bit of noise, throwing out the util, and with the spike being planted in that default position, you almost expect everyone to be back in yellow, and Soniqs completely read that situation.
Yeah, they saw that wall go up and they realized, okay, with the wall going up in defender spawn, they're either going to rotate back to banana, but given the position that they have right now, it's going to be a wrap
differently.
Mid.
It's
And
weird
you saw
to expect
the
him to
idea
play
that
the
Sentinels had,
same.
and that's why Tens was trying to win that fight against Bob, so he could have that alt mid control, so that
What
he
type
didn't
of
have to worry
fucking
about their flank.
Tens
But unfortunately,
stan
with
copium
Tens
is that,
going
dude?
down to Bob, it created a huge gap in that position. And while Soniqs
What the fuck is
another
that?
roaring start, but it's Shazam instead to take down Dizzy.
Now the double duelists both making their way in deep into A main, just trying to get a couple of picks, but it's Plix getting a pick. Zombs takes him back. Now man advantage for Sentinels, but they can just put up that wall and get that spike down, but instead it's Crunchy on top of Raptor taking out Shazam.
On a stream, he got a new mouse pad, no cap. Look at his VOD.
Alongside Crunchy and Bob gets
Well,
two.
go
Quickly
pull out the
rotation.
other fucking mouse pad.
Sentinels.
What do you mean?
Bob is a machine right now. So many crucial kills. There's really no other way to put it. This man is cold blooded. His agent is, and so
This
is
isn't
he.
an excuse.
Sentinels. And that is a huge shock for Bob to win.
Go grab it out of the
1v1
fucking
on
trash.
On the first
Bring it
engagement on the
back.
right side of side, and then to spin back for a second. Soniqs. They are competing at such a high
Plug
level right
back
now
in the
against
old one,
Sentinels,
man.
and Sentinels, we know them to be a team that can adjust.
That's like some
in this
Fortnite
portion
shit,
of the
bro.
match. When you've hit that quarter
Changing
part
your
of the
sense,
any
you're changing the
half,
mouse,
this is
you
where
change the
adjust.
mouse,
This spin
changing
round,
everything
while they
day
are on
before an
Nico,
event.
gonna feel
That's
the
just
rest
not a
of
good
the map.
idea.
This is where we see the little changes. Ian from out the